It's time to go fishing with your buddy Jerry. Welcome to Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show. Heard exclusively on the voice of Muscatine, AM 860 KWPC. Now you can call Jerry with any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or just to find out where the fish are biting. The phone number is 563-263-8600. Jer, let's start the show.
Good Friday morning. It looks like Mother Nature decided we haven't had enough rain yet, so we're going to get a little bit. Love the temperatures this week. If I could find a place that the temperatures are like this all year round, I would move there in a heartbeat. This is Jerry of Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show. We're on the air right now because everybody on the side of the glass is looking at me like I'm in a zoo or something here.
Well, I was thinking about taking my shirt off, and then Millie said don't, and I was in the midst of, going to take it off, but I'll keep it on. Sorry.
You know, that same thing happened out at the fair. I wasn't going to say anything. Some things you just keep quiet, and maybe it was just a happenstance or whatever. But then it happened with Linderman, too, so it just must be the fair atmosphere in that.
Too many corn dogs for you, sir.
That's what she said. Anyway, if you don't know the man behind the glass right there, that's Tony Tome producing the show.
Hello.
How you doing this week, my brother?
I'm doing good, buddy. This rain is nice. My backyard needed it, and I got some grass seed down. I'm really excited about it. My water bill will not go up, so thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you very much.
When you say grass seed,
right. Well, not the Havana, Montana grass.
Okay. I know you guys have kind of formed a little bit of a chummy relationship there.
He keeps telling me he wants me to come down and hang out, and he keeps saying, don't worry. He's like, don't worry about customs. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Well, customs, that usually because of his culture, you take your shoes off before you go into the house or something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, hey, the fair weeks, that all settling down. We did the fair last week. I had a wonderful time out there. Met a lot of people. Spun the wheel of fortune out there.
Oh, baby. Yeah, the fair was a lot of fun. Muscatine County Fair is behind us. I was at Louisa County Fair yesterday, and another great time in Columbus Junction. And, so I think that is the last fair that we're doing. Mm-hmm. So Great River Days is going on still, and then Onion Fest tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of slows down a little.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that.
And then we were talking about that a little earlier, that you're thinking about probably going up to Wisconsin and doing some fishing up there.
Yeah. I'm going to take some time off, and my dad he rents a house on Lake Delavan. Mm-hmm. And wow, what a nice house, man. I mean, there's so many rooms that you could come up there.
Uh-huh. Oh, absolutely. Well, see, I was thinking about me and Kathy were talking about it. We're probably going to head out to Colorado here sometime soon, and we'll be doing some trout fishing out there. Well, I'll be doing some trout fishing. She will be doing whatever she does. Complaining. I don't know. But anyway, we love Colorado. It's a great time. But yeah, Wisconsin, what's nice about there, I go up there salmon fishing quite a bit. I love Kenosha and Racine up there, and it's good fishing up there, I tell you. You betcha. And the thing is, the buffets, you have to go up there, and you have to find one that's reasonable up there. If you get up around a Shasta or White Bear up there.
Oh, cry.
Oh, yeah, you're darn tootin', I'm telling you right now. Anyway, enough of this yanking everything around here. I glossed over the fishing reports this morning, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to go by every single one of them because they all said the same thing, fair. So across the board, the rated is fair. We're into that summer pattern now, and it's just the way it is. But hopefully, we got the Muscly Bait Man on the phone.
Oh, yes.
And he's going to bring us some good news. Are you there, Randy?
Yeah, my buddy.
What is going on? You better have some good news for you and me, or this is just going to end right here, bud.
Oh, no, we can't let it in here. We got to get it rolling. Get your cane pole, your fishing rod. I don't care. The breaks is going to be open on Thursday. And Kilpeck Landing was opened up yesterday at 1:15.
Cool.
So come on down and go some fishing.
Yeah, it's been kind of a rough year for the folks down there, hasn't it, Randy?
Yeah, they pretty much blocked out all of our fishing holes because of the river, and the reason the breaks is going to be delayed a little bit is when we had them hard rains. Of course, it stirs up a lot more mud, so there's a lot more silt down there on the driveway than we anticipated. So once this rain quits and we get a couple of dry days, they're going to dish that, and then they're going to get her open probably Wednesday or Thursday. I just got back home from talking to DNR, and that's my update.
All right. And how are you loaded for bait down there now? Here's the thing with running a bait business. People think, well, all you got to do is have a refrigerator and some worms and stuff like that, and you're good to go. But there's a lot more to it, isn't there, Randy?
Well, it's kind of like planting corn. If season ain't right, you're going to throw a lot of stuff away, and I have thrown hundreds of dollars away this spring. I backed off on buying bait the last 3 weeks, but we're fully loaded now. We just got filled up yesterday. So we got everything from shad guts to mud puppies, gold minnows. So we're ready. The Kilpack Landing is only about a mile upriver from the breaks, so nobody's been fishing. This is all virgin fishing for the year.
which is virgin down in Randy's neck of the woods is a total different thing.
And Lake Odessa is open too, and it's got a new stock of fish because that back hole has never been fixed, so everything from the river has been coming in and out of there.
Right, absolutely. And you guys have had zero fishing pressure down there this year because just nobody could get in there and get to it.
No, and like I said, when the rains come, it comes so hard that everything was muddy anyway,
right.
Even if you could find a spot.
And if you remember in the spring, we broke the story here that the DNR went down there and did a netting survey down there, and there are some sizable crappie down there.
Yes, there are. And they've been stocking, and I didn't know this till last year. They've been stocking back here in the breaks, Big Timber area, with northerns. Mm-hmm. And they've been stocking them, I guess, 4 years.
Huh.
Wow.
So those should be sizable, and I would say they're in Lake Odessa, too.
Yeah.
RB, did you say you have gold minnows? What does that mean?
That's what we specialize in, is gold minnows down here.
What's the difference between that and the minnow that I raced at bike night a few weeks ago?
The price. That's why it's called gold minnows.
Okay.
See, not everybody has Randy Brewer money to throw around.
Gotcha.
It's hard times out there in America for most people, but
we've been throwing it around. That's right.
Throwing it out the back door, throwing it in the freezer. I got you.
They're not a goldfish. They are a gold minnow, and they are a round-faced minnow. DNR has checked these out for years because you're not supposed to use goldfish.
Correct.
So these are round-nosed gold minnows.
Okay, that makes sense. So, and are they specialized for trying to catch anything in particular, or what? I have no idea.
They're mainly good for the crappie.
Okay, makes sense.
A lot of guys, I know you have it in your shop as well as I have in my shop. When you have a lot of tackle out there, you got gold hooks, you got red hooks, you got green hooks, you got all this. And here's the problem, guys. This guy walked through the door. I'm going to tell you right now, by God, them gold hooks are what's doing it. And then the next guy will walk in. Well, that guy don't know what the heck he's talking about. The red hooks is what's catching the fish. Well, them two are idiots because the green ones are the ones. So a lot of times, like on my catfish worms, I've got every color underneath the rainbow. And sometimes I think that's more designed to catch the fishermen than it is actually to catch the fish. But hey, at Jerry's Bait and Tackle, if you want to buy a bowling ball and stick Swiss cheese in the holes,
yes,
and throw it at the bottom of your, hey,
we'll try and get it for you.
I will not tell you you're wrong. Hey, Jerry's Bait and Tackle, if I'm not telling you, giving you a smile when I tell you the total, it's free.
There you go.
So anyway, Randy, you gonna go out and do?
We got guys that go out on the river and crappie fishing, and one day the gold minnows will hit good out there, and then I get a guy that comes in here. I don't want them gold minnows. They didn't catch nothing on him yesterday. He was fishing in the breaks, and then the next day the other guy goes out there with the black minnows, and they knock the heck out of them. And then the gold minnows in here. So you really don't know what they're going to hit on. You just got to have a little bit of both.
Yeah, I've had that, these two guys that say, hey, you said the Big Hollow was doing good. We went down there. We didn't do worth a darn. And then I'll have two other guys come in. Hey, look at these 40 nice bluegill we caught on the same day. So you know what? I don't know what that phenomenon is. We got Travis Lovett in here. Maybe he'll chime into that a little bit later. But it happens. I got a 12-foot boat. It happens within a range of 12 foot. Guy in the back of the boat's catching all the fish, and the guy at the front of the boat ain't catching nothing. You got the same rig, so I don't know what that phenomenon is, but that's why it's called fishing and not catching, right?
Well, one guy will spit on it and the other one won't. But,
but we are talking about fishing, right?
Exactly. Worms. We got the glow worms, too. And you got some in your bait shop.
Do I?
Well, you're going to.
I was going to say.
As soon as you leave the radio station, you will.
All right, no problem. I guess I got them, too.
I'll bring you up some, my friend.
All right, cool beans, right. Randy. Hey, why don't you give out your name and your address?
It's the RB's Outback Bait and Tackle, 16114 County Road X61, and that is 7 miles and a quarter from the Regal's truck stop, 563-506-0490.
All right.
Number or call anytime, and we'll get your bait.
All right. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate it very much. I hope you have a good rest of the last season here, last part of it,
That's all we got to keep the lights on, so we got to do her.
Right, absolutely. And remember, he does drive a windowless van, so. All right, Randy, we'll talk to you next week, buddy.
I think you had enough fun with me.
Yeah, well, it's been so long since we've had some good news from you.
Well, I know, and then last week I didn't even know my battery was dead on my phone until I heard you on the radio trying to get a hold of me.
Right, we were trying to, but, pay phones, they don't exist anymore, so I figured maybe you're sending it in by carrier pigeon or salamander, putting it on the back of a salamander and sending it in.
I thought that lady that called would cover it for me because you kept calling her RB.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, my friend, I'll be out of here.
All right, we'll see you next week, Slick. All right, that was a good friend, Randy Brewer. We're going to slide into a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Travis Lovin. Don't go away.
Let the Sicilian Pizzeria of Wilton treat your family to dinner tonight. Their dough is made fresh every day with only the freshest ingredients, so you're guaranteed to taste the difference. Offering classic specialty pizzas like Sammy the Bull, the Palermo, the Gladiator, the German, the Viagra, and many more. Try one of their killer subs, calzones, or pasta dishes if you're looking for something different. Make sure you start your meal off with one of their mouth-watering appetizers, Asiago tomatoes, cheesy garlic bread, or their famous seafood bruschetta. Call the Sicilian Pizzeria in Wilton for pickup or delivery today. 563-9396. Open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
You save big money, you save big money when you shop Menards.
For over 50 years, Menards has proudly featured American-made products. All this week, we salute these products with Menards Made in the USA sale. Light up your home with Menards' wide selection of light bulbs to brighten both inside and out. Menards has the area's best assortment of styles and colors from dependable brands like Sylvania. Pick up a 3-pack of Sylvania 65-watt double-life indoor flood bulbs for only $3.99. Save more and get more out of your lights this week during Menards Made in the USA sale. Now that's a bright idea. Menards, where you always find the lowest prices every day plus sales too. For more home improvement help, visit Menards.com and check out the How-To Center. On the go, download the free Menards app to your mobile device for more savings.
Save big money at Menards.
Does your spouse complain about your snoring? Are you sleeping during the day when you really shouldn't be? Do you feel like you're not as sharp as you used to be? Don't let yourself lose out on life and your well-being because you're not rested. Contact Michelle Garvin and the sleep team at Western Drug today to learn about comprehensive sleep solutions. Western Drug Sleep Team will help you with all your CPAP and BiPAP needs. They'll take the time to explain and show you how to use your equipment and support you through your therapy. Pharmacy. Here's pharmacist and pharmacy owner Corey Garvin.
We actually schedule appointments. Going on CPAP is not an easy thing. It's a life-changing event. You're going to wear a mask, and you're going to wear a mask all night while you're sleeping. The failure rate is extremely high. We wanted to help individuals utilize their CPAP, but also benefit from their CPAP.
Wester Drug wants you to feel better, sleep well, and have the best patient outcome. Wester Drug in Muscatine and Wilton.
Hey, don't be sitting there wishing you were fishing. Get out there and get it done. You're listening to Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show on KWPC, voice of Muscatine. Yeah, saddle up that horse and ride a cowboy. We'll be doing that Saturday night, won't we, buddy boy?
Oh, I can only imagine.
Did you bring your sleeping bag?
It'll be in the car.
Okay, because I know we made arrangements with Fro there so you could nap on the pool table if need be.
Exactly. Yes, I plan on taking a little siesta.
Hey, what we got going on is Friday night or Saturday night. Well, you can show up Friday night.
Sure. Oh, you could get, you get the best seat that way.
My buddy Tony Tone be coming out. We're getting a little get-together out there at Wilton. Woo! Yeah, he's going to be spinning the hits and whipping the charts.
DJ Tone. That's what I need is like wacky things
there
like
you
that.
go. Absolutely. You know? I wondered about that because you said you used to be on the B100 or whatever, and that's more like bubblegum,
right?
Exactly. Girls running around in cars and screaming and that. So did you have to go to broadcasting school?
I went to St. Ambrose, and I was supposed to be a high school English teacher, and then this happened. So I switched my major sophomore year, and I have a degree in radio and TV broadcasting, and I have a minor in writing. Mm-hmm. So to answer your question, I kind of went to school, but. It's hard to teach somebody how to talk on the radio, so it's just all a good experience,
Right, exactly. And there's something like on the AM side, you talk like, well, you're listening to the AM. But when you're on the FM side, you got to talk like this. It's 10 after the hour and 52. Coming up, Crash Murdoch. And the dog pound.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's why for me, I just try and sound the same if I'm on the FM or the AM, because I don't want somebody to be like, well, when you're on the AM, you sound like this, 920 on Friday.
Right.
At the voice of Muscatine, AM 860. This is Anthony with you know what I mean? So I figured I'll just sound like I always do when I'm on or off the air, and that's how I'll do it.
How does that work like at the drive-thru? Do they pick you up at the drive-thru? Welcome to McDonald's. Hey, I would like a cheeseburger on the south side with a little bit of fries.
I try and just play it cool. I rarely get recognized by my voice, and that's the best part about radio, because nobody really knows what you look like. So you could look like total crap walking into a store, and you're not going to get spotted. But the minute you get on the news or something,
right. Well, that's pretty much the motto of my life. Look total crap. As my girlfriend says, lowered expectations. Works well for me. But hey, anyway, we got Travis Lovin in the studio, and Travis Lovin and Todd Holliday are fresh off the victory trail by winning the Hot Rod Baits Tournament Series in bass angling. These two guys walked away with the award of 2014 Team of the Year award. Although Todd couldn't be here, Travis is, and he's going to give us all the details. And if Todd, you're listening, Gary Pieper would be very, very proud of you. That was our store manager, Sunmart. So, Travis, how long you been fishing, bud?
Been fishing since I was young. As a kid, go load up the van with mom and dad, go down the riverbank and throw some poles in, and then stuff like that. But been fishing on my own since I was, 16, 17, able to drive and get out and go whenever.
All right. Yeah. When did bass become your fish of choice? When you said, hey, I think I want to do this bass fishing thing.
I'd say about 7, 8 years ago. Used to, like I said, once I got old enough to drive and got my own boat, I'd go fishing all the time, but mainly panfish, catfish, things like that. But, about 7, 8 years ago, just kind of would go fishing with Todd, and I'd see he'd always have his bass fishing stuff, and I picked up a rod one day and threw it in there, and next thing you know, it just kind of became an addiction for me. And
you got hooked.
Yep, got hooked.
Just say it.
So I still like to go do panfishing in the springtime. I got a 6-year-old son I like to take out, and that's kind of a little bit easier for him. And bass fishing, so to speak.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I've been doing it exclusively for the most part for about 7 years.
And it can be a patience thing with kids,
right?
You know, that's the hardest part. When I take my nephews out, all right, toss it in. I think I need to check it. There's something on there. No, there's nothing on there. Leave it. And they get bored, and then they want to sword fight, and javelin throw, and that's a $300 G Loomis rod there, boy. Here, you get the South Bend here. Let me take that. But I understand that. So, what is a hot rod baits tournament series? What is that exactly?
So Hot Rods Baits is just a bait company from a guy named Todd Reed out in Marshalltown. That he has his own little bait company, mainly just soft plastics suited for bass fishing and that. And he just a few years ago decided he wanted to start up a little series to bring some guys together from across the state, mainly the eastern side. But it's just a 3-tournament series. We had about 15. We had 19 boats. Second event was 17, and then the river event was, I think, 13 or 14. I can't remember the exact number, but he just started it on his own. He just runs a series, a very well ran series, very well organized. So
it was a good field. Yeah, pretty
absolutely.
Good attendance.
Yes, we had some good guys that compete in a lot of other series that have got some. It wasn't just a bunch of guys out in John boats beating the banks.
Right.
With some pretty good guys in that series, and I think this is the 3rd year that he's done it, and it's gotten bigger every year. So
okay, now you said it was held at 3 different locations. What were those?
Right. We had our very first tournament of the year was at Lake Belvedere, which is over just this side of Sigourney. The second tournament was at West Lake Osceola, which is over just south of Des Moines, right side of Osceola there, the town. And then the last tournament, the one we just got back from, was in Pool 9 of the Mississippi, which is in Lansing, Iowa. Those were the 3 tournaments.
Okay. Out of those 3 locations, I mean, other than the one that the big win you want at, what's your favorite one to fish? What is your favorite one to fish?
To be honest with you, Lake Belvedere has always been kind of my favorite lake to fish around this area. It's just right at an hour drive.
Right.
It's very diverse. There's you can fish. There's grass. There's standing timber. There's rocks. There's just a ton of different stuff going on in that lake, and there's a real good healthy population of fish in there. And I've always enjoyed going over there, and then I put a lot of faith into that first tournament, and I think that's kind of what helped us win that first one, was just the experience from being there and spending a lot of time. Had the most fun up on the river on Pool 9 because the first 2 tournaments are no wake lakes. I got a big bass boat with a big engine on the back, and you have to idle around.
And that's the thing about Iowa. Unfortunately, a lot of guys, they have 150, 200. We don't have any lakes remotely close where you can. Everything's either electric troll or no wake. Lake McBride, between Memorial Day and Labor Day, yada yada. So yeah.
So it's always nice to get on the river and be able to get that thing on pad and run 65, 70 mile an hour down the river and run from spot to spot, and you've got just it's 35,000 acres of water versus 200 and that. So
that's the thing about Iowa is we're just not far enough north, and we're just not far enough south. That's the way it goes. Now, you were talking about the tournaments and up there. Now, usually you guys have a practice day before the tournament, correct?
Right.
So, do you ever get out there and, we got a practice day today, and you go out there and, man, this thing's on fire. This is working. Oh, I got my game down. And the next day, not so much. I mean, does that ever, happen or vice versa?
It happens. It depends on, obviously, the weather and stuff, too. But usually, I mean, every tournament we had in this series, we basically we executed what we found in practice in our tournament day. So that worked out for us in the sense of, we were able to expand on it further into the day and make it happen. And that's the thing. The practice to me is more important than your tournament day, because tournament day you're just executing what you found in practice.
Right.
And there's you kind of fine fine-tune it throughout the day to keep the pattern going, or maybe you stumble on something else that works too. But all 3 tournaments, we basically we expanded on what we found in practice and made it, executed it, and made it work. So
cool.
That's something that I think I would have a good time. I'm not a good fisherman. I don't have patience. But if you make it competitive,
right,
and you see everybody, and I've seen tournaments going on, and you see all the boats head out. And then everybody's got their spot. Did you encounter that at all? Did you find your spot, or were you just kind of we'll go where we think they're going to be?
Like I said, we in all our practice days, we kind of don't necessarily narrow it down to a specific spot, but like just a general pattern, like that you can duplicate across the body of water. But there's times where you can find, like you said, a specific location where you could go to the next day. But that's all dependent on too, like if. Then you got to run into somebody else found that spot and they're sitting there. Then you're automatically kind of spinning your wheels to start out the day, and that's never good come tournament fishing. Because
you can't really stake your claim, right? I mean, you can't put like a floating bobber or something like.
Not the day before.
This.
I mean,
you're confusing that with duck hunting.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you don't go out at midnight and sit on your spot and camp out in the boat.
Already. The fish in the holding tank here, so we'll just go to weigh in. But yeah, that's totally understandable. But it's like more importantly is like, say the practice day was absolutely gorgeous, couldn't ask for better weather, and the next day it's 20 inches of fog and a light rain, and now it's a low pressure system moved in. You have to be able to change up what you had planned.
If it
out.
rains, we like to fish under docks because the fish get underneath the docks out of the rain.
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke, but
yeah, they don't want to get wet.
I thought it was going to be a joke, and I was hanging in.
But no, if the weather changes, I mean, usually you just kind of gotta you found fish in an area the day before, then you kind of just the fish don't usually completely vacate an area depending on weather. They may move, they may get a little bit more finicky. Maybe downsize your bait or get a reaction style bait out and get them to react instead of versus making them eat it, but.
All right, that's cool. We're going to finish this up. When we come back, we're going to slide into a commercial break, and we're going to be right back.
I think with Havana, Montana.
Oh, good gosh. What a treat for you. What a treat for you.
Hang on, everybody. We're coming back. Jerry's Bait and Tackle on the Voice of Muscatine. We're going to jump around.
If you want a home with country living and plenty of windows to view your beautiful surroundings, then 1986 Geneva Hills Road in Muscatine is your perfect home. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath home features a private wooded lot, gazebo, stone fireplace, newer kitchen, deck, and pre-existing man cave. Potential for your dream garden completes this total package. See it with Anna Mack by calling 263-0433 or 299-1412. For a complete listing, visit PearlCityIsleRealty.com.
Don't miss the KWPC birthday and anniversary show, Monday through Saturday mornings at 7:25. Only on AM 860 KWPC, the voice of Muscatine.
Jill Bennett here with your disease control and plant health report. I'm talking with Steve Anderson, an Iowa farmer. You tried Preaxor? How did it work?
The acres we treated with Preaxor were taller and greener late in the season than the untreated acres.
And the financial return?
Preaxor returned more money to my bottom line than any other product that I'd ever used.
And this year?
Preaxor will be the only fungicide that I use on all my soybean acres.
This has been another Plant Health Update brought to you by BASF.
Individual results may vary.
Preaxor fungicide distributes its unique chemistry throughout the soybean leaf to provide continuous disease protection. Preaxor fungicide also delivers advanced plant health benefits and more consistent performance. Visit preaxor-fungicide.basf.us. That's PRIAXOR-fungicide.basf.us, or ask your BASF authorized retailer. Always read and follow label directions.
Your local weather forecast is brought to you by Taco John's, the fresh taste of West Max.
Here's a look at your forecast for KWPC AM 860. Throughout today, we'll be seeing scattered showers and thunderstorms under cloudy skies. South winds 5 to 15, and highs will be in the lower 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with south winds 5 to 15, and our lows dropping back to near 70. On Saturday, we'll be seeing cloudy skies, storms developing late in the day with northwest winds 5 to 10. Highs will be in the middle 80s. I'm Weather Eye meteorologist Greg Tatro. on AM 860. Right now it's 63 degrees.
And now, coming to you live from Little Havana Trailer Park and Storage Center, it's Breakfast in the Barrio with Havana, Montana. Hola, amigo. Are you there this morning?
Hello?
Hello, my little friend. How are you?
Buenos tardes. How are you today, Gary?
Very good. Hey, I noticed something this morning on Facebook, amigo.
What's that, man?
Today is National Tequila Day.
Oh, yeah. You don't think I don't know?
I wasn't for sure.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Tony?
Hello, Havana, Montana. I'm doing good. Happy National Tequila Day, my
Oh,
friend.
yes. One of my favorite days of the year. You know, hey, I have a nickname for you.
Oh, yeah, okay. What is it?
T-squared.
I like that.
And then I figure if you ever find the other Tony, I'll call you T-cube. You're like ice cube, iced tea,
Right.
maybe more like a corn-fed vanilla ice, probably.
If only I could cut my hair like Vanilla Ice.
I don't know.
I look like I ate Vanilla Ice.
So hey, who's your guy you got on there today? I think I like that guy.
That is Travis Loving. He's a Bassmaster. I guess we can officially call you that because you won an award for it and everything.
Oh, yeah,
I wouldn't say Bass Master, but
I think
close.
him and his partner should come down here, because down here in Florida, I'm kind of known as an ass master myself. I figure maybe him and his buddy, we can go, trolling for girls or whatever.
Bass Master, Havana. not what you said, amigo.
Oh, we'd be like the recta trifecta or something,
Let's just stick to fishing. We can stay out of trouble that way.
So what's going on up there in how you say
Muscatine, my friend.
Yeah, you have things going on up there?
Yeah, we got the Great River Days going on right now.
Whoa.
There is a tournament Sunday, too.
Yeah.
The riverfront for Great River Days.
Great Reefer Days, man. That's my kind of party.
Great River Days, not Reefer Days. This is Iowa, not Colorado or Washington, my friend.
My wife, her whole family here, you'll have all of them up there. You'll have so many Latinos in there, you have to change the name to El Paso.
Well, probably right.
Yeah, big family. On the stage, they got a big family.
Well, they probably like this song then, huh? For Havana's family. Little Cheech and Chong. You gotta love it.
I think he got married to that, says wedding dance.
Yeah, we danced a lot to that. My favorite song. So, hey, man, hey, look, what, the hooch is coming along good.
Oh, yes, the Havana Hooch you were talking about last week that puts hair on your chest and makes chia pets and whatever else you say.
Oh, yeah, I fixed that problem, so I didn't no more nursing chia pets, but I've gone through about every color of the Lucky Charms rainbow when I pee in the morning, but I think we're almost there.
Almost there. Well, practice makes perfect, doesn't it, Havana?
That's right. That's right. That's like when I was a bullfighter. I just practice, and that's why I was so good.
You were a bullfighter?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, I retired undefeated.
Wow. You retired undefeated.
Yes, I was always the first one out of the ring.
Yes.
Not going to catch me. I ain't no dummy, man.
No, you are absolutely not. You're an entrepreneur?
Right.
Oh, yeah, lots of good stuff going on there. I'm busy.
Busy, my man.
But, hey, listen, I tell you, I had a crazy week. You know what I gone and done and did?
What you gone and done and did?
Well, I had to go to the hospital.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was, I got kind of what you call the sweet tooth.
Oh, yeah?
I like the candy. I really like the M&Ms.
Okay.
You like the M&Ms?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what I like to do? I like to take like a handful of the M&Ms and put them on the table and spell like different words. Like,
Yeah, you're a little light on options there, but I got you.
I got M, I got W. I figure I can do something.
You can put sideways, make an E.
Yeah, you know, meow, something.
There you go.
But so anyway, so I had a big bowl. I always have a bowl sitting on the table, M&M. So I'm eating some, and some time goes by, and my stomach starts to feel real funny. And everything just jumping here, jumping there, don't know what to do, in and out of the other room. So finally I had to go to the doctor because I couldn't take the pain no more.
Wow.
Well, yeah, so he do those, what they call the x-rays, and he's come back, he say, you got beanie bow.
You got what?
Beanie bow. I say, what? Wait, beanie, baby, that's like the toy I give to my little kid. No, he says, no, beanie bow. He says, you got Mexican jumping beans in your tummy.
Uh-oh.
I said, what the hell you talk about, man? And then I know, Dos Equis, he put his Mexican jumping beans in my M&M bowl.
Oh, that's not good.
I had so much Havana hooch, I did not notice, I guess. Everything bouncing on back and forth, that's so crazy.
Only you, amigo, only you.
Well, you know, I try to do what I can, you know, but like I said, I still want to come up there, and if I bring the whole family, you know, I don't know, you might have to open up a campground or something, because...
That's no problem, amigo. Well, if you can, try to make it up here this weekend for Great River Days.
I tell you, I cannot believe it. That sounds so good to me. I bet they serve a lot of food there, huh? Everybody happy.
Absolutely. I got family coming in from out of town myself this weekend. They're coming from Tampa, Florida. Hell, you could have rode with them.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Got a bus?
No, actually an airplane.
Oh, yeah, because it takes, I don't know, you know, I keep U-Haul in business when I move my family around, I tell you what.
I totally understand, amigo.
Okay, hey, man, listen, you guys have a great weekend. It's very nice.
All right, thank you, Havana. Stay away from the Mexican jumping beans.
I tell you what, oh, man, I'm going to do that.
All right.
Tony, talk to you later, buddy.
All right, thank you, Havana.
See you, buddy.
We'll see you next week. Well, I don't know what much to say about that.
He's the best.
He is. He's great. I need to finish up this interview with Travis because I know he's anxiously waiting to go get Garth Brooks tickets. Is there any way that we can expedite that?
I wish I had a connection, but yeah, those tickets go on sale in just a little bit. Is it 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock, yep.
Holy moly.
So he's like, hey, I'll do this thing, but I got to be to a computer at 10 o'clock.
It's on my phone. I'm all good. I got covered.
Okay.
We're good.
All right, I just got a few more
It's all right.
questions for you. We'll
Yeah,
go
go
from there. Hey, as far as the hot rod, I don't know why I keep wanting to say hard
Rod's Bass
bait.
Series.
It's
Hot Rod's Baits
Hot
Bass Series.
Rod Baits Bass Series.
There you go.
I used to say that all the time. I'd say Deep Parks Lake for some reason. Dyslexia, you know. Halloween time, trick or trout, give them a fish, you know, whatever. But hey, as far as the series goes, is it an open enrollment or do you have to be part of a club to get into that series?
Yeah, it's an open enrollment. Usually he comes out with a schedule, you know, in the early or late winter. And this year he capped it at 20 boats, so you got to get your entries in. And with this deal, you have to pay for all the tournament entry fees in advance.
Right.
So that way it's not a per tournament deal. You pay in advance for your entry fees. That way there's the morning of the launch. There's no money changing hands. It's just you get your boat number, you get in line, away you go. But no, it's open enrollment. His website has got all the information on it. I'm not sure the exact link offhand. But you can find it on Google. Just Hot Rods based Bass Series.
All right. And usually what time do they start signing up for that?
Like I said, late winter he releases the schedule, and then it's all you print off your entry fee or your entry form, mail it to him with your check, and then he just confirms he got it, and you're locked in for the year. So
Okay, well, being an avid bass fisherman as you are, Deep Lakes Park has been open for over a year now. How do you rate it for bass down there?
Well,
I just say that because I have a lot of guys, and some guys are real successful, and some guys not so much.
Sure. Well, my experience, I think there's there's still, it's a great fishery. It's clear water. There's a lot of
and that in itself is a game changer.
Right, with the grass and things, there's place for the fish to live and to raise their young, and then as well for them to to grow. There's a lot of panfish in there. There's some good sized bass in there. I do think we experienced some over harvesting in the initial stages of the place because. There's to just your normal everyday fisherman, a 4 or 5 pound bass that's big talk, on a lot of those, and rightfully so. I mean, they had the legal right to do it. I'm not saying that was anyway.
Right.
It's just
it was a little Thunderdome down there when it started.
And at that point in time, I think if a guy threw anything flashy out there, they were biting on it. Right. And but I think right now, I think there's still plenty of good fish in there. I've caught some nice ones out of there this year. But I think they've gotten smarter from the pressure. They've moved away from the banks and that, and they're probably a little bit harder to get to for just your normal everyday bank fishermen and things like that. But there's still some good fish in there. I know some guys that have had some good luck with some decent fish, but the numbers of the trophy bass I think were depleted pretty good last spring when they opened that place up. I really would have liked to have seen them institute some kind of slot limit with it, and not just the state minimum of 15 inches and keep 3 of them. If it's over 15 inches, I don't think I really ever seen a lot of people or heard a lot of people keeping undersized bass. Right. But when you start to take those trophy bass out on a pretty regular basis, it kind of messes up the fish.
Right. And that's the thing. If you don't have big enough predators in there, and that's the thing, we make all the slot limits we want. But unfortunately, there's always somebody.
Oh, absolutely. I think it would have lowered it a little bit. But
I mean, there are decent. Don't get me wrong. There are people that follow the rules and this and that. But for many people that got following the rules, you always got 3 or 4 that muck it up.
But overall, I think it's a good fishery. It's a place where with that clear water, you can't just use your normal everyday fishing techniques. And we talked about that earlier with just the fishing in general down there is. It's different than chunking a big old night crawler on the bottom on the river or something like that. You gotta really kind of pay attention to what you're doing. And
it's a long ways to the bottom.
Yes, it is. Yep, I've covered majority of with the boat ramp now. I've covered the majority of them areas, and I think the deepest I've found is about 35 feet. And out in the middle of that main lake, there's just a lot of really cool features, some humps and real shallow spots. Just out in the middle of the lake will come up to like 8-9 feet.
Right.
And, the grass grows and things like that. But overall, I think it's good. I think it's healthy. It's just, I think, it's just you gotta adapt when you go there. You can't just go there like when it first opened. You could throw a 9/16 socket in there and a bass is gonna eat it. It's just,
oh, absolutely. Like I said, we talked to our good buddy Kurt from the Conservation Board a couple weeks ago, and they are dropping structure in there right now, and they're slated to do a topo map down there, the highs and lows and all that. But being that you probably spend 16 hours a shot out there, you pretty much got it all mapped out. So whenever the first tournament opens up down there, you're good to go.
Yeah, I don't know if it's pretty small. I don't know if it would be conducive to a tournament. I'm sure you could have some kind of derby down there that'd be fun but it's pretty small.
Yeah, absolutely. But, so anyway, last question here before I hold you up from getting your Garth Brooks tickets. Do you have a favorite go-to lure if nothing else is working? What will be your, I'm going out and nothing's biting on anything. I know it'll bite on this, and that is?
Would be a weightless stick bait, soft plastic. Most people know them as Senkos. That's kind of a brand name, but you just rig it, Texas rig with the hook, and just throw it out there, and it just kind of floats, and it's just it'll sink real slow and kind of have a real subtle motion to it. I think overall, when the bite gets tough, like if the fish that we found traditionally, and they're there, but they're just not biting normal, just like flipping like a creature bait or something like that. If you throw that weightless stick bait in there, they just can't stand it.
You're slowing the presentation
down. You just throw it out there and you fish it on slack line, let it fall real slow, and you'll see your line jump or feel the bite in your rod tip, and they just can't stand it.
That's exactly how I started fishing the pits. This is way back in the 80s when we could fish down there. Was a Texas rig, and back then I'd use just a bullet weight and about an 8-inch purple worm, and you just got just a little bit on the rod tip there, and then bango they will take.
And
you right there.
one of the tournaments we fished this year, that was one of the techniques we used to get our limit and fish majority of the day that way. And there was times where we could kind of try to switch it up and put a weight on it, and they wouldn't touch it.
Right.
It had to be that slow fall where it's just kind of floating there, and they just can't stand it. And again, I hate to say there's one bait that I like to have because you're always changing. That's part of bass fishing. Depending on the time of the year, the seasonal patterns and conditions. Right. That's why I call my boat a 21-foot tackle box.
Yep, basically. Yep.
You always, there's so many tools you have as a bass fisherman that you.
And that's the thing. People come to me, hey, I want to see your tackle box. You just walked into it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it.
Right, this is it.
This is it. I own the place, baby.
Yep. The old standby. That's probably when the bite gets tough. But really, my confidence bait would be like flipping like a Texas rigged creature bait or a square bill crankbait. It's by far my favorite technique to fish. So
okay, we've been talking with Travis Loving. You're Fruitland or Muscatine? Or
I live in Fruitland. I'm born and raised in Muscatine, but I live in Fruitland now.
We'll just say Muscatine, and that'll cover it all. He's been our guest today. Him and his partner, Todd Holliday, walked away with the 2014 Hot Rod Baits. I don't know why I have such a problem with that word. But anyway, they walked away with the team of the year, as you've heard in our interview here, deservedly so.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it was a great year. We won the first tournament, we got second in the second one, and got seventh in the third one.
Yep.
So.
And we follow each other on Facebook, and you put up some impressive fish on there, and deservedly so. And now it's time to start practicing for next year.
I got to give a shout out to my partner Todd, though. Yep. I mean, we've fished together quite a bit, and this year he just really kept me. He keeps me on the straight and narrow. The guy's been fishing for a really long time, and can't say enough about the guy. I really enjoy fishing with him, and looking forward to hopefully getting in there next year and doing it all again.
All right. Thank you, Travis. Hopefully we didn't keep you too long so you can win them Garth Brooks tickets.
We got 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes. All right. I appreciate you being on here.
Absolutely. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. This is Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show. We're going to slide in a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hy-Vee Main Street Wine and Spirits has some great deals this July. Corona or Corona Light 12 packs, bottles or cans, $12.99. How about a Shock Top Lemon Shandy 6-pack of bottles, $6.99. Jack Daniel's 750 milliliters, $23.99. Or Jim Beam 750 milliliters for $16.99. They've got Phillips Vodka 1.75 liter for only $10.99. And Duck Commander Wine, $9.99 plus a 5-cent fuel saver.
Valspar's multi-surface concrete sealer is a solid color oil that is waterproof, low gloss, and protects your beautiful patios, driveways, pool decks, and other exterior masonry surfaces. Just 1 gallon covers 200 to 500 square feet depending on the surface texture. At Hardware Hank, we have everything you need to make your outdoor surfaces beautiful.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
When it comes to purchasing tires for your vehicle, Curry's Auto Inc. can make it easy on you. They carry Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear in stock and can order all other major brands for you. Nobody likes paying for tires all at once, so make sure you ask them about their 6-month same-as-cash payment plan with approved credit. Curry's Auto Inc. will get you back on the road in no time with brand new tires. Call them today at 563-264-8527 or visit them online at currysautoinc.com.
When you see news happen, bring it straight to AM 860 KWPC. Call the KWPC News Tip line at 563-263-2442 or send us an email to news@voiceofmuscatine.com. First with news, KWPC.
Weather brought to you by Central State Bank, your home-owned bank.
Here's a look at your forecast for KWPC AM 860. This afternoon, we'll see some scattered showers and storms under cloudy skies. Winds will be out of the south 10 to 20. Highs will reach into the lower 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with south winds 5 to 15 and our lows dropping back to near 70. On Saturday, we'll be seeing cloudy skies, storms developing late in the day with northwest winds 5 to 10. Highs will be in the middle 80s. I'm Weather Eye meteorologist Greg Tatro on AM 860. Right now, it's 63 degrees.
I guarantee.
Now it's time to fetch yourself up a plate and grab a chair. It's time for Cooking Louisiana Style with Chef Catherine on Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show.
Are you there, my dear? How you doing?
Hello, Jerry.
Hello, Chef Catherine. What do you got for us this week, my dear?
I have a special request for Bananas Foster, so I'm going to tell you about how to make that.
All right, cool beans.
So down in New Orleans is a place called Brennan's, and they're well known for their Bananas Foster, and people come from all over to eat it. So if you learn how to make it and don't burn your house down up there, then people will come to your house to have some Bananas Foster.
Well, we've got insurance, so we're good to go.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with 4 medium bananas, and you can go ahead and cut them lengthwise, and then you'll cut each half across, so you'll have 4 equal pieces of bananas. And you can set that aside, and you're going to take about a 1/4 cup of butter and a cup of brown sugar, and you'll want to pack that real nice. And then you can take a 1/4 cup of banana liqueur and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and you can heat that up until the brown sugar, dissolves. And then after you get that nice and good and hot, you're going to add in those 4 bananas that you cut up and cook it until it's kind of soft. And just as it's fixing to turn soft, you're going to get out some good old Bacardi 151. So you'll take about a 1/4 cup of that. And there's 2 ways to do this. If you know what you're doing and you have a gas stove, you can put the Bacardi in and then tilt your skillet away from you, and the flames will ignite the alcohol. If you are not an experienced cook, I would say remove it from the stove. Then put the 1/4 cup of Bacardi 151 on it, because it will go into the air taller than your house.
Hold on a second, Chef Catherine. We've got breaking news coming out of Muscatine, Iowa. 14 houses have burst into flames this morning after a local fishing show.
I kind of didn't want to give this recipe, but it was requested because I can just see, make sure that you have a fireman handy.
Oh, yeah.
Because when I make it at brunches, the thing is to see how high I can get those flames without setting off the fire extinguisher. Fire sprinkler.
Chef, what if I just want to sip the 151 and then put it in? Is that okay?
Then you'll probably catch yourself on fire as well as the bananas when you take out that lighter.
Gotcha.
And like I said, if you do remove it and you light it away from the stove, then make sure you have one of those long-handled lighters or one of those long fireplace matchsticks. Do not, get out the little cigarette lighter. Oh, watch this. You won't have any eyebrows left if you do that.
That pretty much explains all my family. Hey, watch this. And now that's why we call them Lefty.
Well, if you had more time today, I'd tell you a story about a family member and burning things down. But we'll save that for another time. So after, what you'll do is you'll light that on fire. And after the flames kind of die down a little bit, and you want to make sure it dies down because you don't want to taste it and go, whoo, that's Bacardi 151. You want to burn off that alcohol.
Maybe I do.
Kind of shake the pan a little bit. And then you want to get some good vanilla ice cream, like Breyers or something like that. I don't know what you have up there on
what I'm talking about.
Whitey's. Okay, well, there you go. So you want to get that ice cream. You want the good stuff because this is, this is very important. And you'll put about a cup of ice cream in each bowl, and then you'll, divvy up the bananas into each bowl, and then you'll take that nice brown sugar sauce that is so good, and you'll ladle that on top. And you'll have to eat it really quick, and the race is to eat it before all the ice cream melts. But it is yummy. Yummy, yummy.
I do have a little bit of news for you, Chef Catherine.
Good.
We did end up, Hy-Vee is now carrying the Slap Your Mama spice.
Really?
I think it's my poll. We brought Tony in as his producer now, and he said, hey, listen here, monkeys. I'm running that show out there. If he says he wants that spice, you get it in here.
That's right.
So, anyway, yes, Hy-Vee does carry Slap Your Mama.
Yay!
Yay for me. I'll go get it with when I get the Bacardi 151.
And some banana liqueur.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Man, I need to quit listening to Havana, Montana, because my Cajun is going over to the Hispanic.
a little bit, and you bring up booze a lot, too.
Yeah, I know. Well, there was an old Louisiana chef named Justin Wilson, and he'd go, okay, a little in here and a little in here. So,
yep, absolutely.
So he usually finished a bottle by the time of the show, and only half of it made it into recipe. So.
All right. Thank you, Chef.
All righty, and that's it for Chef Catherine today.
No roulette, no craps, no whatever you say at the end.
Bon temps roulette, let the good times roll.
All right, my dear. We'll see you next week. Hey, this is Jerry from Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show. We're running a little long today. I apologize for that. I know this is the longest hour in radio that there is, but I appreciate you being here. And I also appreciate Travis Loving for coming in and being such a fantastic guest. You'll see him down fishing in deep lakes or whatever. He's a hell of a nice guy. Just say hi to him, say hey to him, and he'll help you out. Other than that, this is Jared Proviance and Tony Tone sliding out the door, making way for the Sports Stooges on your radio next. See you next week.
Jerry will be back next Friday, right here on the Voice of Muscatine, to talk about fishing, life, and even a few jokes. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday. Jerry's Bait and Tackle Outdoor Show on the Voice of Muscatine. I think I got a big one on the line, Jer. Gonna need a bigger boat.
But I love to fish.